Students, our next part of the seventh chapter is the population part second. Today we are going to learn about the age structure part second. First I will read this point and then I will give you explanation. In a region when the population is subdivided as per the age group, this is called as the age structure of the population. Age structure is the useful for the projections of the population and for the understanding of the dynamic of the age structure arrangement. Similarly, it is also helps the understanding the proportion of active and dependent population. In the regions, the population is subdivided, that means the population is divided as per the age group. That means in this area the population is divided based on the age group. This is known as the age structure of the population. Age structure is useful for the projection of the population and for the understanding the dynamic age of structure arrangement. That means the population the projection of population and for the understanding of the dynamic age structure arrangement. Similarly also helps the understanding the proportion of active and dependent population. That means this age structure is help us the understanding the active and the dependent population in our country or in our state. In India, the productive population is the population between the age of 15 and the 59. This is group of people is active in service and business. This directly participated in the economical activity of region. In region where the proportions of the population is more, especially youth development is rapid, the dependent populations falls into the two groups. The peoples below 50 years of age are totally dependent on the productive populations. People above the 60 years also falls in the dependent category, but their knowledge and experience make them the valuable asset to the whole society. That means in this in our India, the productive population is the population between the age between the 15 to 59 group, also considered as the productive population. This group of people is active in the why this group is also considered as the productive population, because of this group of people is active in the service and business and they directly participate the economics activity of this region. In region where the proportion of the population is more, especially youth is developed is rapidly, the dependent population falls on the two subgroups. That means the peoples below the 50 years, which is the dependent on the productive populations, and second group is the above 60 years, these older peoples which is the dependent on the productive population. But the above the 60-year peoples of above 60 years, which is the dependent category, but their knowledge and experience is a lot of them compared to the productive population. Second point is the occupational structure of the population. The population of region can be classified into working and non-working group. These peoples who are not in a job or professions despite being the productive age group come under the non-working group. This non-working group is dependent on the working group. If the proportion of working population is higher in the region, the population is termed as the industries. Such region has rapid development. That means the population of region can be also classified into two groups. Which groups? The working groups and non-working groups. The people who are not in job or service, this is also considered as a non-working group. That means these peoples are not job profession despite being the productive age group come under the non-working groups. The non-working group is dependent on the working group. If the proportion of working population is higher at that region, there where the development of this region is comparatively more. residential. Areas of residential. The population of region can be divided into two groups as per area residential, that is the rural and urban. People in the rural areas are mainly employed in the primary occupation, and the urban areas the proportion of people working in the secondary and tertiary occupation is larger. The population in the rural area is involved in the production of food grain. The urban population is dependent on rural population for supply of food grains. That means the population of region is also divided into two groups as per areas of residential. That means two type of the land use, as like the rural and the urban. The peoples of rural areas which is dependent on the agriculture, that means they are employed in the primary occupation, and the urban areas peoples who is the working in a secondary and tertiary occupations large. But these urban areas peoples dependent on the primary occupations. Here given the prepare a bar groups on the basis of table given below. Discuss issue of literacy and literacy in the country of. Write a note. Argentina, Brazil, India, then Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan. Here given the countries and here given the percentage of literacy. Next point is the literacy. In the society, some people are literate and other illiterate. That means literate means to be educated. Illiterate. In our country, the person who can read and write term as literate. This is definition can be vary from the country to another, one country to another country. The percentage of literacy throw light on the quality of the population. That means in the society some peoples are literate or some peoples are illiterate. That means here the literate or illiterate means literate means to educated, and here illiterate means non-educated. In our countries, person who can, in our countries how the literacy is find. In our country the person who can read and write is term is indicate that the literate. The person who cannot write or read, this is also considered as in illiterate. This definition can be vary from one country to another country, and this percentage of literacy thrown light on the quantity of the populations. The people above the age of 7 can be classified into literate and illiterate. Age of above 7, these are also considered as the literate or illiterate people. Literacy is the indicator of the social and economical development of society. That means the literacy is indicated the social and economical development of the society. That means this literacy show the social and economical develop of this particular group. If the percentage of literacy is higher than the country developed and social and economic, that means in which countries their literacy is higher, this country is developed socially and economically. Literacy leads to the development of cultural and progressive society. That means literacy is so important factor which is affect on the population. Next point is the migration. The movement of the individual or group from one place to another place term as the migration. This could be the short period, long period, or permanently. Marriage, education, business transfer, tourism, natural calamities, wars, etc. are this reason where peoples migrate. There are many kind of migration regions from where peoples migrate show a falls in population. Such region experience a shortage of manpower. On other hand, the areas which they migrate show an increase the population and strain on the public amenities and facilities. Due to the migration, the composition of population also change. That means in the migration, the movement of this is the also migration means goes to the one place to another place, but the movement of this, that means the individual person or the group of person goes to one place to another place. This is also known as the migration. This could be in short period, long period and permanently. That means this is a classified the migration in short period, long period or permanently. Because of marriage, education and business transfer, tourism, natural calamities, this or war, these are the factors which are affecting on the migration. There are many kind of migration. Region from where people migrate show fails in the population. Such region experience shortage manpower. On the other hand, the area which they migrate show and increase the population. That means the people goes one place to another place. He goes from this place there where the population is less, or population is fail in the population, but they were goes to the from one place to another place. This another place is population is also more or increases. Due to migration, the composition of the population also change. Here given the country and percentage of immigrant population. Afghanistan, Brazil, Kuwait, Bangladesh, Germany, Hong Kong, Israel, India, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Great Britain and USA. Here the next important point. Migration is an important factor which is affecting on the distribution of population. That means the migration is the so important factors which is affect on the distribution of population. Due to the migration, there are redistribution of population of region. The structure of population undergo change. That means the migration is the redistribution of population which is the effect on the population distribution, or the which is the structure of population also undergo change. The above table has given percentage of migrant population sub-selected countries. In the countries where the percentage of migrant population is more, job opportunity, good business prospect, the availability of natural resources and economical development are the main causes. That means the given percentage of migrant population some selected countries. That means the percentage of migrant populations because of the job opportunities, good business prospect, and the availability of natural resources. These are the effect. Because of these, the people migrate one place to another place. And on the other hand, the political and social factors, economical backgroundness, etc. Some of the reason according to low percentage of the population. Through this percentage, population is low in India when the compared to the total population in the actual figures. That means in the India, their percentage of this population is low compared to the other countries. Then next point, population a source. Population a source. Population is a resource, is an important for the economic, social and cultural development of the country. That means the population is also resource which is the important factors and which is the important for the economical, social and cultural development for the countries. Rather than population numbers, it is the quality of population which is important. That means rather than the population numbers are so important, but the quality of population is so important. Along with the percentage of literacy, sex ratio, age group, health, educational level, etc. also consider while be thinking population as a resource. That means the population of resources, the percentage of literacy, sex ratio, age ratio, health, educational level is so important for the resource. The supply of skilled or unskilled laborers depend on the quality of population. That means the well educated, skilled or the unskilled labor dependent the qualities of population. Then in earlier exercise on page number 42, you noticed that there was the increase in the population town A and B and that means there was a growth of population. But can you say anything the development of this town if there are no houses for this increasing population, no adequate drinking water, water of what is use growth only in those town? How many people has additional drinking water been made available? How many children have started attending school? And or in which city the people's happier? Growth does not mean development. They have development of measured. For many decades, only countries' gross national product was used measuring development. It was assumed that the greater the economic for many decades, only country gross national product was used measuring the development of these countries. It was assumed the greater and economical prosperities, the more of the development of country, but this does not mean the people are happy with the quality of the life of this country. That means the measuring development based on the gross national product, but at that place only greater the economical prosperity, but more the development of country, but does not mean the people of there where the people there is a people is happy. In really, development is related to quality of life, the opportunity available there, freedoms. That means development is related to these factors related to the quality of life and opportunity available there and freedoms. In the decades in 1980 and 1990, Mahbub's UI Hawk and Amartya Sen put forth of the concept of the Human Development Index HDI, United National Development Program UNDP, published in list of the countries based on HDI scores every year. That means in decade of 1980 and 1990, the Mahbub UI Hawks and the Amartya Sen put forth of the concept of the Human Development Index. Then next point is the Human Development Index. That means the Amartya Sen. The Human Development Index hold an important place in the study of human condition relation to the international economics development. That means the Human Development Index is so important place in the study of the human condition and the international economical development. Today is commonly accepted that only economical prosperity does not mean the development. The economical condition is considered to be the development, not, but today is does not mean this is the development. This is not just acceptations of the individual, but also region or countries. The Human Development Index used as the yardstick to measure the regional development. While computing this index, three main parameters have been considered. That means the Human Development Index following are the three parameters or characters have been considered. The economical parameters, that means standard of the living. Health parameters, that means life expectancy. Third is the educational parameters, number of year of the schooling. That means these parameters have considered to be the Human Development Index. The value of the Human Development Index range from 0 to 1. That means the value of this Human Development Index is 0 to 1. Highly developed region have value close to 1. That means in this highly developed area, the value of this index is 1. As the level of the development goes down, the value of the HDI decreases. In an area with very little development, the value of index is close to 0. That means the highly developed area, this value is 1, and the level of development goes down, the value of HDI decreases. In area very little development, value index close to the 0. Then next point, while considering the district-wise density of population in Maharashtra, following features stand out. The population density is less in eastern district of Maharashtra, while they are more in the western district. Based on this map, based on this map, while the considering the district-wise density of the population, here given the index, here population density per square kilometer, here the more than 1000, then 500 to 1000, here given the 250 to 500, here 100 to 250 and 100, here given the distribution. But in this map we can easily understand the density of population density is less in the eastern districts, and it is the western district the population of density of population is higher, because higher density indicate the urbanization or higher level of the industrialization. There Mumbai city district and Mumbai suburb district, Thane, Pune, Nagpur district have a higher density. That means Mumbai city district, Mumbai suburbs district, Thane, Pune, Nagpur district have a higher density at that place. The rain shadows district as well as the district in extreme east, which are densely forested, show less density. That means there were the extreme east which are the dense forested. Here given the some long form HDI, that means Human Development Index, UNDP, that means United National Development Programs. Thank you.